how many of them that went under the ground?
Very true.
You carry a
Very true.
What do you do with it after they have wrote it for you and you cannot find the money to make the movie? And so many of them went under the ground. I played in American stock market. I lost money in NASDAQ, you know, until so Africa is where to be. That's where constructions are still going on. It's still bush. You know, it's still like a cassava field. There are many things can do. So when people are jumping out of Africa, I said, ask Chinese, why are they coming? Why are they all
Very
coming
true.
every day? In a way, you say this place is useless, nothing is in it, and you see other people coming in there. It's just because there are many eyes that can look, but there are very few eyes that can see.
Hey, there are many eyes that can look, but very few eyes that can see. That is very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking just one more question, and then we're done for this month. But don't worry, we are hosting Dr. Cosmos for, I think, Founders Conference, where he's going to be able to share more. And then in August, hopefully, we're having him in the US at the Global Wealth Festival. Dr. John Maso has confirmed, Les Brown has confirmed in August 23rd to 25th. So if you can join the event physically if you're in the US, or you join virtually. But we have the Founders Conference, the virtual conference in July as well, so you can join. But let's take one more question. By the way, how many of you have gotten value today? Have you, been blessed? Have you learned something great from, like I said, as far as business is concerned, Dr. Cosmos is a sage. Over 40 years, and it's a rare privilege. People at his level of experience do not come like this and just share. So really, really a privilege. So celebrating one more time. So you are lucky, Victor N.A. You are the final question we're taking today. I say thank you so much for making your busy schedule to pass wisdom to us. Please, how did you deal with work setback, especially during a vital execution?
I didn't get that right. Work setback means you are doing a project, or work setback like you are an employee and maybe you are laid off, so that I know what.
I think he's referring to a major project. I think so. Yeah.
Well, it depends. It's subjective because setback could be a function of so many things. Is it that the project could not be funded to a logical conclusion? Is it that you have borrowed money to put into this project and the people that gave you the thing did not? So it's a little bit ambiguous for me to answer, but all I can say is that if this is like a job somebody gave you, it's very unfortunate, because if you're assuming you are constructing a building of $100 million, or say $10 million or $50 million, and you have agreed terms of payment and you have put in money and the company gets stuck somewhere, those are some of the misfortunes we meet in life, that there's nothing absolutely you can do, because at the end of the day, the owner of the project must be willing and look for the fund for the project to continue. You cannot go unless you have some ingenuity, where if you are clear that he ran out of fund and you have some investors that you know that can bring in money, you can also talk to him to say, why do you stock so much money that does not get you value? Why not we get this investor to add in money so that this construction will be completed, instead of having a piece of nothing, a whole of nothing, you can have a piece of something, because capital that you have tied down are not generating you any revenue, and you cannot finish this project the way it starts. So then that could be a value added from you, which you will appreciate. And by doing that, you will also have successfully complete that project. So the question is a little ambiguous, you know. So I can't really place it clearly to be able to answer precisely what you need to do. But one thing you must understand is that if you want to do business, what you have say in a faith is that you are willing to take a financial risk. That's what business is all about. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not profit. So one that's going into business must have at the back of his mind, no matter how careful you have planned, something most likely may go wrong. So, and that's especially in a third world country. And that's why sometimes it's better to be conservative in approach. But when you are starting up, he that is on the ground fears no fall. So you can open your two hands and and walk on the road, because if you fall, you will also fall on the same ground where you have been. But as you're climbing up, then you shouldn't do that. You need to begin to plan but a little bit more better and be a little bit more conservative, because that's when it's going to make news if anything happens.
Wow, guys, come on, celebrate Dr. Cosmas Maduka. We spent almost 2 hours. Sorry for the network issues.
Yes, sir.
I hope next month we will have better network and it will be more stable. But I believe you've gotten value. So if you got value, please express your deepest gratitude. I am big on learning to express my gratitude. I think some people have the culture of not showing appreciation. Me, I love to show that I'm grateful for values like this. And like I said to all of you, what we need from fathers like this is not money. It is counsel. It is wisdom. I've never had a mentor that ever asked for money in my life, right? I've always looked for opportunity to learn, to listen. Of course, I've had people, who then on their own decide to support what I do, and I'm grateful for that. But I don't think you should seek mentors so that you can see what to get. Rather, you should see how to serve in exchange for, wisdom, for counsel, for opportunity to grow bigger. And I think that's why we are here. And I hope you've all learned. I hope you got value. I can see so many people say, "Thank you, sir." Love you say thank you, Daddy. Thank you. I mean, different reflection. Somebody was asking about how to register for the US event, and at what state is it? Is taking place in Houston, Texas. The website I just pinned it is stephenakital.com/GWFUSA. Right, that would be August 23rd to 25th. It'll be great. It's a lineup of powerful people who will be sharing with all of us as we grow our businesses. But thank you for coming, every one of you. Remember to follow official Cosmos Maduka on YouTube, on LinkedIn, even on TikTok, on Twitter, and as well as here on Instagram. The team has always posted so many amazing content, amazing information about what he's teaching, we're sharing. In fact, now when he speaks at events, they try to cut and show it live and just show what's going on. So, because this is what Daddy has decided to do at this period, inspire young people, share his journey, and we're happy about the transformation. I'm sure as people meet him all over the world, many of them, someone just even posted, say, I just watched your YouTube video before I just saw this live on Instagram. So we're happy at that. What is your final word as we wrap up for today?
Stephen, I want to thank you most sincerely because, frankly speaking, my generation is not a social media generation. It was very inconveniencing for me when you were telling me that I need to do all of this. Usually what I do is speak on the stage. If people like you are privileged to have an idea what my calendar was. I left Lagos on the 13th of June. I arrived South Africa on the 14th, and then I spoke on the 15th and on the 16th. I did business meeting like this, but maybe 100 people, 200 people. But now I'm talking to say 100,000 people. If we properly advertise this, and I have, I'm oversubscribed by over 100,000, but if I get 20,000 or 30,000 people, it's different than speaking to 200 people or 300 people, because everything I said here is precisely the thing, some of the things I said in a different form. There's nothing new. You just, situations makes you say it. On the 17th, I left South Africa to Malawi, arrived and went straight to stage business meeting, the way I spoke like this, for group of believers and the other people that attended. We didn't finish till 10 o'clock. Then we had a breakfast meeting by 8:30 that lasted till 12 before I went to Malawi to pass the night. Came back the following morning, 18th, left to Zimbabwe, arrived Zimbabwe, rest that day, travel to Kadoma where I need to speak. I left Harare to Kadoma, and then spend I spoke on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then on the 25th, I went to Botswana. Okay, from Botswana, I came back to Zimbabwe. Yeah, at Victoria Falls. On the 28th, I left there to Nairobi. I spoke. I did business meeting. You can also see the clips. They're all already on YouTube. I did business meeting in Nairobi on the 29th, and on the 30th, I spoke in a church service. On the 1st, I arrived Lagos. On the 2nd, I left for US. For another weekend meeting that I just finished, and I went to South Bend 2 days ago on the 8th to see my suppliers, and returned back to Columbus in my auntie's place now because I'm totally exhausted. But because you wanted me to do this, my idea was to put the phone off, because on the 18th, I'm leaving here now to Trinidad and Tobago. I'll be back 24th, and I will do the wisdom something in Lagos, another speaking engagement till 28th. That night, I will leave to my office in Tokyo. So that's so purely giving back to society, and almost spending most of my time on the air. But I have limited number of people to talk to. But with a situation like this, that's where I'm coming from. That you made it much easier, and to give time for maybe 1.5 hours, 2 hours every month, once in a month, at least, to come back, get your questions, look at other things I have said. You can also, if you put my name, you can see some specific, because I also sometimes teach specifically on how to run business, what need to be done, but we speak generally, we don't break it down. There are some clips I did that teach you some of those things. If you get them, you see what works for you, because there's no one could fit all, but you could get something that you can tailor to your own business situation, and they fit. The only thing that is in business is that they are all financial risk. You need to manage well, or you lose whatever you mismanage. Financial management is key for your success in business. Defining your gratification is a key for young people, not in a hurry to show you have arrived, is a key to getting there. If you have a clear goal where to go, let some people laugh at you. Sit on wealth where people don't know you worth anything until their situation where you will be forced. People will begin to learn, oh, maybe this guy made something. Because there are people who in your business want to pull you down. If they get to know earlier that you are making it, they will crush. So you need to be too strong. When they carry you up, your weight will pull them. At that time, they just say, please go, this boy. So I never show my competitors that I am coming. If they knew, they would not give me. I was hiding. Before they tried to carry me to kill me, I was too big for them to carry. So don't be in a hurry to show that you have tried. Let people test your strength and find out your weight is too much for them to carry. Then they leave you, welcome you.
The guys, that's the end again. Official Cosmas Maduka on YouTube. People were saying, what's the handle? Official Cosmas Maduka on YouTube. That's the channel. Go subscribe. There's so much of his wisdom across all platforms. Like I said, he's a sage. This is encyclopedia of business sense and wisdom and godly virtue as well. And that is rare to find in business, people having integrity. And he's lived all that for us. And we're all glad to learn. And on behalf of my generation and even the ones younger than me, we say thank you for what you do. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you represent. And thank you for taking out your time to do this. God bless and reward you and have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead.
Oh,
God bless you, sir.
thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm so sorry we lost Dr. Cosmos when we were talking earlier, but let's hope we can get him back. I don't know what happened with the network. It just cut off. And I can only just hope we can have him back. But how many of us got some value based on what we have been discussing earlier with Dr. Cosmos? Based on what we've been discussing earlier. Okay, if you got value, just type, I got value. I learned a lot. I want to be sure. Unfortunately, we've lost.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, sir.
Yeah.
It went off.
He went out and called Joshua to ask me, told me to be patient that you will reconnect and invite me. You know, I'm in the state now, so I suppose the network is not, the problem might not be from here, but it could be anywhere.
Maybe for. Well, thank God we're back. Guys, I want to apologize. Please send back the questions because all the questions are gone. It just went off and all the questions are totally gone. But good to have you all back. I think a lot of you have been connecting back and I think you were still touching on the point before it went off. I think if you can pick it up from something powerful you said, you worked for a man for 6 years without salary.
That's correct.
That is powerful.
That is correct. And contrary to what anybody may think, at this end of 6 years, he gave me 200 naira, which is like 400 US dollar then.
Wow.
And I was grateful to him because, as far as I'm concerned, the training he gave me, is what propelled me to become who I am today. So I never feel angry with him. When after we have some interaction we have, and I told him to watch in the next 5 years and see who I will become, he told me I will succeed. He knew I will succeed. I told him thank you very much because that blessing was what I needed from him. He passed on now, but before he passed on several years ago, he was on 100,000 salary from me every month, you know, with a car driver, because it's rudiment that I learned it from him. So he taught well. So that's why many times a lot of young people are in a hurry to jump into business. I said, please pay your dues. You know, if you can find somebody who will train you, don't be in a hurry. Many of us have spoken somewhere. A young man get up and said, we have been over-mentored, but we have been underfunded. I said, shut up. I said, shut up. Shut up. Where the fund going to come from? You capital. Okay, so go get a job and see how you manage the capital you earn. Whether the first thing you do is to buy iPhone 15 with the money you get, then we begin to need a teaching job or some other thing, or where you are, or maybe get a job in the bank. When they give you money, you can buy $500 shoe and things like that, because you can be an entrepreneur and spend money in that way. So part of the things I learned from my boss is financial management. These things they tell Augustines in the university is things we do every day in our life. Opportunity cost, economics is important, that is going to, take precedent over the other thing. If you can get those things clear in your head, knowing you have a sense of purpose. So every other young man in the street is not your model. You are not trying to copy them, because incidentally, people who are going nowhere are the first people that tell you, let us go. But ask them, where are we going? They have no direction. They are taking a stroll. But if you have a direction where you are going, your vision will put you in prison. It helps you to choose who will become your friend and who will not be. You begin to, these people, what can they add to corroborate this vision? What can they add that can make this place I'm going become a reality? And you know some people are distraction in your life already. Of course, you will be bad-mouthed, because the ones you are not becoming everybody's friend, they said he tried to make himself important. He tried to. Those are what you must be willing to be criticized if you want to be successful in life. You must be willing to be misunderstood. But your vision will put you in prison, and you will begin to determine, who do I hang out with? Do you want a lady who is going to distract you? You're a young man who is going to mess you up and put his two hands on the head, nothing to offer to you. So when people tell you, let us go, ask them, where are we going? Do you have any plans for your life or any clear sense of direction? So a young man that come out of college, subject to your family background, my advices will vary. But yes, you can go abroad if what your aspiration is to make sure there's orange juice in your refrigerator, you have a bottle of milk every day till you die. Good luck, go. But there's not many opportunity to run business when you go abroad. It's not like there have been exceptions, people who that, but they are a minority. 90% of them are people who take a paid job and they stay in that medication. Any day they're out of it, their disease come back again.
I mean, there's a way you put these words, they are powerful, right? Thank you so much for that. I hope you guys have gotten a lot of wisdom. Again, those of you sending your question, put it in the chat box, in the question box. On your right-hand hand, you will see the question mark button. Type it there, and that's where we will take the question from. The next question is from Odera Onu. He said, please, sir, do you do business with church members? I like this.
Sure. I do business with church members. A lot of people don't believe it's an appropriate thing to do. Also, some people advise me against it. But I'm a Christian and I'm not embarrassed about my Christian faith. I do business with church members, but I let them know we are in office, we run business. He said, we are not running church in office. If I can do business with my wife, I do business with my wife. When we come to the office, I am a president, she's the vice president. Our relationship differ in the office than when it is at home. So if we go, she's the boss. I can, take instructions from her. But when we come to office, I am the boss. We don't share power. And when I make the lines up with it. So, so if I do that, then I can work with any other Christians. We just need to, find balances on all of those things. Why should people who go to the same church with me be disadvantaged because they come to church? I don't want to do business with them. But office is an office and church is church. So they are two different things. We still carry our Christian value, but we run business like a profit money making event and not a place where we have social gathering and spiritual upliftment.
Beautiful. The next question is from Stanchion Construction Company. And he says, thank you so much for your time, sir. Sir, how do we manage a business that does not align with our spiritual values? Our spiritual value, but with good profits. Like a Christian seeking alcohol. I think he's talking about like a Christian running an alcohol business.
Yes. Let me simply say, my brother, the manifestation is always the interpretation. Okay, I don't need to tell you who I am. By the time you see what I do, you know who I am. Take, for instance, somebody like me took a gunshot for refusing to provide alcohol when I get married. So how do you ever I will invest in alcoholic company or run a business that is alcohol related? I will be standing against my testimony. I've gone to some church and I said that. The pastor quickly get up and say, that is his opinion. That is his opinion. And he doesn't need to tell me that church, they take alcohol and that the alcohol is not anything to them. If you want to know, there's no clear scripture that said don't take alcohol. But Bible is very clear. Let everybody know your moderation. If you like, also I can tell you there's no scripture that said don't smoke cigarette. We are not saved by the things we do. We are saved by the things we believe. But the things we believe make us do things. The things we believe shows who we are, part of us that people cannot say. That's why I say the manifestation is the interpretation. You can't claim to be a Christian and want to be like the world. Like, I'm sorry to say, because some ladies are listening to me, you dress in modesty, shoes, and tell me, I don't quarrel with you. Once I look at you, I have an idea. There is spirituality where you are in the. There are people who come to church not being regenerated. When we meet people like you, we talk to you, show you the ABCDs of the Bible. There's no need start talking to you about the algebra of the Bible, because if you don't know the ABCD, why are we teaching you algebra? So you need to, know that this person is very immature in what he claimed to believe. Because if you truly become a Christian, listen to me, being a Christian is subscribing to a kingdom. You are part of a culture and a citizenship of a country. Jesus came to this world to bring heavenly influence on the earth, so that he said, when you pray, don't pray to go to heaven, pray, thy kingdom come. Bring the culture of heaven here on earth. Let us experience heaven. What we are going to see in heaven, let us practice it here on earth. And that is part of the reason why I tell some people who think you cannot be a Christian and be wealthy. I told them, you will have a culture shock when you get to heaven, because the street is made up of gold. So if wealth make you afraid, you will use when you need to practice to wealth here and stay of it before you get to heaven. So you don't just keep on looking like something is meant wrong with you when you get there. So by the same way it is also in your righteous living. You don't go to Britain to start learning English. If you want to go to Britain, yes, you you are trying to migrate. You need to learn how to speak English in Nigeria. Otherwise, you come to Britain and speaking vernacular. Everybody's looking at you and saying, what is this man talking about? So when you become a Christian, you have subscribed to a kingdom. A kingdom has colonized you. And when a kingdom colonizes people, the kingdom sends their influence over that people. You begin to live the country. We spoke English where we were there in Nigeria because we are under British colony. If French people have colonized, we will not have been speaking English. So it is a vision of their kingdoms. So if Jesus really take over your life, if you are a citizen of the kingdom, your life will change. There are things the other people in the world don't do yet you will not do. Everything you do will reflect the kingdom which you reflect and you promote. So that's my own way. So I see people, take for instance, somebody like me, of the alcohol and some other things that is there. So you mustn't choose business because they are very profitable. Your Christian value, that's why I tell people looked at me as a rich man who is a Christian. No, I am a Christian who became rich. So my Christian value comes first with my wealth. And therefore, I don't condescend to Christians because that value stands ahead of any material thing. I believe that even wealth creation comes from that principle of knowing the truth of the word of God. You are subscribing to it of the Most High, where everything is possible, where street is made of gold. When I became a Christian, I started thinking kingdom thought. How do they act and live in heaven? And it's in my thought process. I begin to live like nothing bothers me. Nothing bothers me does not mean I don't have problem. But truly, I do not succumb to any problem because I live and I'm myself alive. But it is the place where I possible. Impossibility is not in the vocabulary of where I'm coming from. So those things motivate me and make me take decisions many people are not daring to take.
Wow. Okay.
I don't
Thank
know
you
if
so
I
much.
answered the question.